Hi everybody, day 6. I'm gonna keep my voice down a little bit today because my guest and my sister are in the other room and I don't want them to hear me. I don't know. I didn't know what I was gonna write today, so when I sat down I had no clue, but I didn't have any idea yesterday either. I wanted to do 2,000 words. To begin with, I wasn't even sure that I was going to do any writing today because I didn't really feel like it earlier. And I felt a headache coming on, which I can't really feel anymore. Fingers crossed, touch wood. Told you you'd see me wearing this again, didn't I? In the end, I wrote 2,386 words, which I'm very pleased with. And that brings me to a total of 12,998. I should add 2 more words to bring that to a nice even 13,000, but I'm not going to. Not unless I notice a couple of missing words when it comes to including a little excerpt. I was starting to get annoyed when I started writing because I didn't, after the incident where a nameless character was killed by Regan and one was killed by Chris as well, I hadn't had anything happen. I just had exposition that was just sort of unnecessary. I mean, to a reader it could come across as a little bit boring, and I didn't want that to keep happening, so I introduced my elemental character that I wanted to introduce. Anna popped up again. Her name is Sasha Knight. I really debated not calling her Sasha Knight, but my brain wouldn't give me anything else because now I have Rook and Knight. It's like I'm building a chessboard. I don't even know. I think part of my brain wanted that, but it could come across as really cheesy. You know, if this ever got published, people would be like, oh, Rook and Knight, I see what you did there. All I need is like, I couldn't have a king or a queen, that would be ridiculous. You can't have a pawn either, that doesn't work. Okay, maybe I can't have a chessboard though. Anyway, yes, an elemental, she's an electric elemental, electricity, so electrokinetic. I haven't used those words though. But I think I have used pyrokinetic earlier on in the story, so I might have to change that. Yes, her name's Sasha Knight, as I said. She's one of those people who doesn't really look like she could be dangerous, but you know, she can like, electrocute you, cook you alive, so to speak. I always give my electrokinetics weaknesses in that, you know, if you dump... They did this in Heroes, I was really impressed actually, it was one of my favourite things about that character, Elle, the electrokinetic, that a character dumped a bucket of water over her head and she electrocuted herself, which I always like. I mean, I know we're mostly water, but she's not like using the electricity inside of herself. If she's using it outside and you soak her, zap, she zaps herself basically. Characters have to have weaknesses, or it's just no. They stop being interesting when they're, you know, they can't do anything wrong. When, you know, their own abilities can't be used against them, in a way. So yes, I introduced her. She's not frightened of any of the wares, which I liked. She's like, well, she's an agent herself, so you know, she's been there, done that. She's one of the big boys too, so to speak. Regan popped up again very briefly. I introduced a very nervous sort of young woman tech earlier on. I don't know why I imagine all the techs wearing glasses. It's sort of cliche, you know, cliche geek. I named her. Her name's Hannah because she popped up again. She's very intimidated, but right now I'm seeing her as, you know, this is the point where she has to prove herself that she belongs with the agency. I mentioned earlier on a telepath psychic who is a tech. You know, he's like one of the best because of what he can do. He's popped up again. His name's Samson. I'm not sure if that's his first or his second name. And he's a little bit full of himself. I will be honest, I have sort of based him, sort of. If you're watching the new Nikita, he's basically Burkoff with telepathy. He's got the same attitude, which is really shameful of me. It's very lazy as a writer to do that, to lift and drop. I mean, obviously he's not human, so that's different. But I mean, even like right down to the clothes, I have been extremely I'm quite embarrassed by it, actually. I'm a little bit ashamed that I've done that, but it's just a testament to how wonderful Aaron Stanford is in that role that I want to kind of lift. So yes, he's not the same character, obviously. I mean, he's annoyed when he loses the floor, so to speak, because he addresses all the agents, because they're all gathered together for like this multi-part job, which is completely unheard of, so that all the agents are like, whoa, what's going on? Because they work alone, they work solo, you know, they are basically assassins who wear suits. they're well-presented assassins. And, you know, to have 2 of them on a job is just plain strange. Have 3, unheard of. All of them, whoa, something's going on, you know. And it turns out that they've had more than a dozen reports of supernatural aggression, were the words that Samson used, in the state. What state? I don't know. Don't ask me. And so all the agents have been gathered to be assigned these cases, and they need to bring in as many of these targets as possible to find out if they're all coordinated, if they're working for someone else, because Smith believes that, or he says he believes, that there's something going on. This, you know, they've been coordinating this attack, they've been planning it for months, maybe even years, so they need to find out what's going on, and if possible, who's delegating here, who's giving these commands, who's telling them to do what, attack where, and when. So yeah, there's more than 20 agents. Probably not many more. I'm imagining like 24. Because otherwise that makes them like an army, and I that's not what I want. Plus it probably takes quite a bit to be an agent. So, you know, not any, just any Tom, Dick or Harry can be an agent. Anyway, Samson addresses them all, he gives them a score, so to speak. Anna interrupts him at one point, and he does not like that. So when it comes to giving the floor over to Smith, he actually looks annoyed. He's annoyed that he's lost the limelight. I also said that it took the agency like 5 years to help him control his abilities, so he could stand to be in a room with more than 1 or 2 other people and not go mad. They've also introduced a medium, who are traditionally cast as female, but mine's male. His name's Greg. He looks a bit like a geek, so he doesn't look like a traditional medium. Because one of the cases is actually a medium mucking things up. So yeah, he's like, whoa. So it's obvious which case he's going to be assigned. He's going to be assigned the medium. I've also established that mediums can become necromancers in the future, if they're given enough time and opportunity to hone their skills. So yeah, they're quite dangerous. So yeah, it's like, they're also quite rare because they can go mad. You know, you start seeing ghosts and hearing them, and you're gonna lose your marbles. But yeah, that's quite enough talk for today, because I've nearly run out of time. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. If I'm not back tomorrow, I won't be here on Monday, which will be day 8, I believe, because we're going out, we've got a whole day planned. So yeah, next week I'm going to miss at least 3 days, maybe 4, depending how tired I am on Friday. So yeah, pleased with my progress today, and I will see you all tomorrow. I hope you're all getting along well, and take care. Bye!